Well, those are your latest headlines. Hello and welcome to France 24. I'm Louise Hannah. It's taken more than 60 years and the dramatic fall of one of the world's most notorious dictators. But this Saturday, Libya is going to the polls in a nationwide election. Well, France 24's Catherine Norris-Trent is in the capital, Tripoli. Catherine, 80% of people have registered to take part in this historic vote. Are the polling stations looking busy? And what about who they're voting for, Catherine, the candidates? Any front-runners at this stage? Thank you very much, Catherine. Catherine Norris-Trent reporting live there from Tripoli in Libya. Well, as you just heard Catherine say, 200 seats are up for grabs in today's historic election, but the division of those places has been causing big problems. The West, including the capital Tripoli, will get 100 seats, the East 60, the South 40. Well, I'm now joined on set by Professor Douglas Yates, Professor of Political Science at the American University here in Paris. Thank you for joining us, Douglas. Firstly, let's talk about these great expectations. Libyans fought an 8-month bloody revolution to get rid of Gaddafi. They were under his dictatorship for decades. Now they've got this first democratic election. What do they expect from it? Now, talking about the candidates that they're voting for, 2,000, but it does seem that the Islamists, like in Tunisia and in Egypt, already have a strong support. So how well can we expect them to do? So do you believe that we'll see a similar standoff then between the Islamists and perhaps the secularists, like what we saw in Egypt? Or do you think it's a different ballgame?
Well, I think what they're waiting to see is just how well the Islamic parties do.
Now, what about what the original purpose of this election was for, is to select a constitutional assembly? Now that's been dropped. What are the dangers of electing a parliament, as temporary as it is, without a constitution? Now, what about the accusations that have been levelled at the National Transitional Council of being ineffective, not doing anything about security and economy? Its replacement now, the new transitional parliament, will it be any more effective? Thank you very much, Professor Douglas Yates. That was Professor Yates from the American University right here in Paris. Thank you. To other world news now, and the number of UN monitors in Syria could be reduced, and those who remain could play more of a mediatory role. That's what's being proposed by UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon as the Security Council gets ready to meet on Wednesday to review the mission's mandate. We've just been told that Syrian mortar bombs have been fired across the border into Lebanon this morning, falling on farm buildings in the Wadi Khaled region. Well, let's go to France 24's Lucy Fielder, who's in Lebanon. Lucy, what more do you know about this attack? And of course, Lucy, this will do nothing to dispel fears that the conflict in Syria is now regularly spilling over into Lebanon. Thank you very much, Lucy. Lucy Fielder reporting live for us there from Lebanon. The US has declared Afghanistan its newest major non-NATO ally. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton made the announcement on a surprise visit to Kabul this weekend. Well, from Kabul, Clinton will then head to Japan for an international conference on Afghan aid. Donors are expected to pledge around $16 billion a year in long-term support. Flash floods in Russia's southern Krasnodarsky Krai region have killed at least 78 people and affected nearly 13,000 in the area's worst natural disaster in a decade. Well, that's where we leave this edition. Do stay tuned. There's more coming up in just 20 minutes.